Hello everyone, welcome to Vaishai's YouTube channel and to the Polity MCQ series which are prelim specific in nature. So we are in the episode 9 of Polity MCQ series, and if you have not watched them before episodes, you go to the playlist of the Polity MCQ series in Vaishai's YouTube channel, watch them and come back to this video. These are prelim specific videos which will be very useful for your revision purpose. So let's start the video. So before starting the video, a small announcement. If you want to join the test series of Vaishya IAS, you can contact through WhatsApp through this number which is appearing on the screen, that is 7200681675. Vaishya IAS team is providing one of the best qualitative content test series in the country. Thousands of people every year are getting benefited out of this test series. So if you want to be one of them, just join the test series by contacting through WhatsApp to the number which I have already told you and which is also appearing on the screen. So let's start the video. Question number 1. The Prime Minister must be a member of which of the following house? Option A, Lok Sabha. Option B, Rajya Sabha. Option C, either of the houses. Option D, not a necessary condition being a member of the either of the houses. So, option for question number 1 is C. He can be the member of the either of the houses. In 1997, Supreme Court held that a person who is not a member of the either of the House of the Parliament can be appointed. However, within 6 months, he should become a member of the either House of the Parliament. Otherwise, he ceases to be the Prime Minister. Constitutionally, the Prime Minister may be a member of any of the two houses of the parliament. For example, 3 prime ministers, Indira Gandhi, Deve Gowda, Manmohan Singh, were the members of the Rajya Sabha. In Britain, on the other hand, the prime minister should definitely be a member of the lower house of the parliament, that is the House of Commons in Britain. Question number 2. The Prime Minister advises President with regard to the appointment of whom among the following? Option number A, Election Commissioners. Option B, Chairman and members of the UPSC. Option C, Chairman and members of the Finance Commission. 1 minute. Option D, all of the above. So, the correct option for question number 2 is option D, that is all of the above, because Prime Minister has power to recommend regarding the appointment of the following members. The Prime Minister enjoys the following powers in relation to the President. He is the principal channel of the communication between the President and the Council of Ministers. It is a duty of the Prime Minister to communicate to the President all the decisions of the Council of Ministers relating to the administration of the affairs of the Union and proposals for legislation. And he also has a power to advise the President with regard to the appointment of important officials like Attorney General of India, Comptroller and Auditor General of India, Chairman and members of the UPSC, Election Commissioners, Chairman and members of the Finance Commission, and so on. So option D is correct for question number 2. Question number 3. Which of the following is or are parts of the Union Executive? So there is a small correction in the options. So option number B is 1, 2 and 4 only. Okay. Now let's see the statements. Statement number 1. Council of Ministers headed by the Prime Minister. Statement number 2. President of India. Statement number 3. Central Secretariat. Statement number 4. Vice President. Select the correct answers from the codes given below. Okay. So they are asking who are the members of the Union Executive. So we know that Council of Ministers headed by the Prime Minister, President and Vice Presidents are the members of the Union Executive. So correct option for this question is option number B, that is 1, 2, 4 and only 1, 2 and 4. The Union Executive actually consists of the President, Vice President and the Council of Ministers with the Prime Minister as a head to advise and aid the President. So option B is correct, that is 1, 2 and 4 only. Question number 4. Which of the following is not matched correctly? Option A. Article 167 speaks about the duties of the Chief Minister. Option number B. Article 163 speaks about sworn-in of the Chief Minister. Article 164 provisions related to state ministers. Article 166 operations by the state government. So they are asking which of them is not matched correctly. Here 163 won't speak about the sworn-in of the Chief Minister. It speaks about the Council of Ministers to aid and advise the governor. So option B is wrong, and Article 163 There shall be a council of ministers with the chief minister at the head to aid and advise the governor in the exercise of the function, except in so far as he by or under the constitution required to exercise his functions or any of them in his discretion. And Article 163 also speaks about if any question arises whether any matter is not a matter as respects which the governor is by or under the constitution required to act in his discretion, the decision of the governor is in his discretion shall be final, and the validity of anything done by the governor shall not be called in question on the ground that he ought or ought not to have acted in his discretion. And it also says the question whether any and if so what advice was tendered by the ministers to the governor shall not be inquired into any court. So Article 163 won't speak about sworn in the chief minister. So the incorrect match is option B, that is Article 163, sworn in of the chief minister. Question number 5. With reference to the powers enjoyed by the Prime Minister, which of the following is incorrect? They are asking which of the following statement is incorrect. Option number A. He advises the President with regard to the summoning and proroguing of the sessions of the Parliament. Option number B. He can recommend the dissolution of the Lok Sabha to the President at any time. Option number C. He can recommend dissolution of the Rajya Sabha to President at any time. Option number D. He announces government policies on the floor of the House. So here he will have the power to do everything except this. He cannot recommend dissolution of the Rajya Sabha to President at any time. So Prime Minister cannot recommend the dissolution of the Rajya Sabha to President at any time. So option C is incorrect. So option C is correct for the question number 5. Question number 6. Who among the following Prime Minister was appointed by the President under his discretionary powers for the first time? So President, in case of if in no party gets the majority, then he have the discretionary power to appoint the President. To appoint the Prime Minister. So he appointed for the first time Charan Singh as a Prime Minister by his own discretion. So option number A is correct. When no party has a clear majority in the Lok Sabha, the President may exercise his personal discretion in the selection and appointment of the Prime Minister. In such a situation, the President usually appoints the leader of the largest party or coalition in the Lok Sabha as a Prime Minister and asks him to seek a vote of confidence in the House within a month. The discretion was executed by the President for the first time in 1879 when Neelam Sanjeeva Reddy, then the President, appointed Charan Singh, the coalition leader, as a Prime Minister after the fall of the Janata government headed by the Morarji Desai. So option A is correct for question number 6. So let's solve the last question of the day. Which of the following statements is false? Option A. Chief Minister's tenure is not fixed with some conditions. If the Chief Minister resigns from his post, then the entire Council of Ministers has to resign. Option number C. The Governor is the President of the Interstate Council. Option number D. The collective responsibility of the Council of Ministers is to the state legislature. So here, when you look at the options, Chief Minister tenure is not fixed, and Governor, so collective responsibility of the Council of Ministers in the state is to the state legislature, and if the Chief Minister resigns from his post, then the Council of Ministers has to resign. So option number C is not correct because Governor is not the President of the Interstate Council. So option C is incorrect. So option C is correct for the question number 7 because the question is asking which of the statements is false. And pursuant of the recommendations, the Interstate Council was set up under Article 263 of the Constitution of India. So through the presidential order dated 28th May 1990, the present composition of the council has Prime Minister as the chairman. So it's not the governor. Chief Ministers of all the state members, Chief Ministers of Union Territories having a legislative assembly and administrators of the UTs not having a legislative assembly, and governors of state under President's rule, that is governor's rule in the case of Jammu and Kashmir. 6 members of cabinet rank in the Union Council of Ministers to be nominated by the Prime Minister members. 4 ministers of cabinet rank as permanent invitee members. So this is the composition of the Interstate Council as under Article 263. So that is it for today's video. I hope so you have enjoyed the MCQ series. So wait for the next episode. Until then, take care. Bye bye.